all of these episodes of Scribble Kibble, and this animation, Death of the Firstborn Egyptians, is the first one made in a program none of the others have used, Moho, also known as Anime Studio. The link to watch the animation before I go on is below. The more I look into Nina Paley's animations, the more fascinating they become because of their art style and their content. In a lot of cases, the characters draw upon aspects of how people in that time period drew themselves. So in the Firstborn Egyptians, you have Egyptian paintings, but go over to Godmother and the elements are a combination of Aboriginal and ancient art. Or the Order of the Seder, where the figures are 2D facing to the side, but the heads are turned 3/4, as is common in instructive medieval illustrations. What is happening story-wise in the animations is heavily informed by religious history. There's a great deal of knowledge that goes into Paley's animations, and layered on top of that is meaning, so it's not simply a straight interpretation of here's the female essence of fertility and creation and the source of all life. There's a point to it. Look at Death of the Firstborn Egyptians in that light, and we have the story from the Bible, Exodus 12, where the Israelites put lamb blood over their doorways so the Spirit of God will pass over their homes and not kill their firstborn children. Paley's animation explores the tragic Egyptian side of the story, because the Egyptians don't know to put blood over their doors, so all of their first children die, including the Pharaoh's son. Interesting point that the plague in this animation kills everything. Human children, animal children, plant children. And what do the Egyptian gods do? They say, nah, screw this, I'm out of here. The second half of the cartoon pulls from Egyptian history and recreates their beliefs about the journey into the afterlife. That's what's happening plot-wise in the animation. As I mentioned earlier, this is made in Moho Pro. This program is expensive, like any other high-end software, but its strong point is efficient 2D animation, so that means animation puppets and tools to distort artwork. It's not meant for frame-by-frame hand drawings, though I'm sure you could animate that way if you wanted. The best place to see the program at work in Firstborn Egyptians is in complex puppet movements like the bird wings, the snake tails, and the underwater serpent. Let's look at the snake tail, because all it is circles. However, getting these circles to move in a flowing line like this is not easy to achieve without the right animation program tools. A program like Moho isn't animating the circles, it's actually animating a line. The artist distributes the circles along the line and then animates the line. In this case, the line itself is a series of little bones that you can click and drag around like this tutorial here is showing. These bones are also how the basic character puppet rigs work for the people. First you draw the character, then you set up its skeleton, and then you animate the skeleton by dragging bones around, and that's how the character moves. You can reuse that same skeleton over and over in different puppets as long as their body structure is the same. The men and women here are about the same, so they can use the same skeleton, just with different art over it. If you really want to see how versatile a puppet skeleton can be, This Land Is Mine uses the same puppet for every single human. They're just dressed differently, that's all. Most of the time you set rules for the bones so, the arm doesn't rotate 360 degrees or something crazy. But if you don't set rules, they can stretch as far as you need them to. So for Death here, the stretchiness lets the profile stay nice and smooth even as the head and body move around. If the settings aren't just right, and the animator doesn't do any touch-up, you can get breaks or bumps in the profile line. Notice here how there's a bit of lumping around the head as Death moves from sloping left to right. Of course, the bone tool isn't unique to Moho. Most professional animation programs have a bone tool, but all of them work a little bit differently. Adobe Animate, for instance, doesn't give the animator the same amount of control over setting bone rules as Moho does, and it doesn't let you mesh warp a character for animation like this. You can mesh warp and animate, but only one drawing at a time, so you would have to manually do one image at a time and it'd take forever. There are a ton of Moho animations buried on Nina Paley's Vimeo channel. I've linked some of them below. A lot of them are little bits and pieces from what looks like it's going to be a very long animated feature that will come out sometime in the future. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and I hope to see you next time.